crypto, Bitcoin especially, done the exact drop that I spoke about in my latest video, which was a while ago, like just after or just before Christmas, can't remember, but it's done the exact thing anyway that I was seeing. And to be honest, this looks completely healthy. Your girl has been a little bit vacant, but you know, we're gonna be in and out with the 2 moon phases every month when it comes to these videos to follow it. So we've done this big ass drop. Like, I don't know if anyone noticed it, but I was like, we've created literally a head and shoulder. Like, we were about here when I done the video. We then had a run up, which I spoke about. I was like, we're gonna have some sort of retracement, and then we've dropped right back down. But the biggest question is this the bottom, or are we going further? So for those who are new, my name is Kelita Sahliah, but anyway, this is the crypto fear and greed index, and right now we are in extreme fear, and this is actually beautiful. It's the most beautifulest time to get involved, but of course I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. But when there's blood in the streets, there's meat to eat. That doesn't rhyme, but you know what I'm saying. When people are all out here scared, this is the time to get involved. Like, if you have been observing crypto, looking at crypto, seeing the highs that it's been making, and you've been like, yo, I want to get into this shite, now is the time to get into this shite. But this is not financial advice. It might not be this exact moment, however, this moment in time we've been presented with of this big pullback in the crypto market gives so much more people opportunities. And to be honest, the way the markets are moving, it's like perfect to trade. It's perfect for everything right now, and you're getting another chance. So looking at the stock to flow model, for those who are new, it shows like an amazing pattern. What are you noticing in this, which is why the crypto markets has gone how it has, as many of us did actually anticipate like bull run, and it did happen. The bull run did happen, yet we were anticipating higher highs. Why? Because we were expecting the crypto market to be moving as it did on its inception. Look at like the impulses as it's moving here slightly, and it's getting smaller and smaller. But why is this a good thing? Is because crypto is becoming more of like a sophisticated asset, more like the stocks and things like that. So there's more trust around it. So ultimately, it is a good thing. Yet we need to not like rely on hopium of like, oh, it's going to be reaching these targets straight away without necessary pullbacks. And trust me, it is going to be good, yet the market makers will make it more difficult for you to get in. So you need to know what you're doing, otherwise they ask you a bunch of questions to buy it on their platform. However, just looking at the Bitcoin stock to flow model, as you can see, we're turning into this greeny color. When we're going into this greeny color, we are entering into a bear market, an accumulation phase, as you have seen. The price, crypto, it was new back here, 2012. Look, it's moving sporadic. It's like, what's going on? Bitcoin ultimately has been in like an uptrend, but it's moving sporadic. Now it's calming down. Why? Why is it doing this? Because this is the calendar, but we are in Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn, while this is loading, Pluto is in Capricorn. Many like mainstream astrologers will say Pluto's in Aquarius, but it's literally not. If you look in the sky, it's in Capricorn, and I can show you in my calendar confirmation, but it's in Capricorn. So this means when it comes to major internal transformations, the focus is Capricorn energy, which is stability, foundation, to build that structure towards long-term goals. Okay? So this is why, like, we can see clearly before our eyes with this chart alone, we're becoming more stabilized. We're creating that structure for something more long term. So people saying Bitcoin's going to reach 500k, 200k, etc., etc. Some people saying it's going to go to zero. All could be a possibility. However, I do feel before it reaches I'm not going to subscribe to say it's going to reach zero. However, there could be a catastrophe where it gets close to that. But I'm not really entertaining that idea until we've reached certain highs before. Okay. But in order to reach these certain highs, even when it comes to XRP, Ethereum, and so on and so on, this stability and structure needs to be built. So when it comes to the long-term energy, we've got Pluto in Capricorn. It is there, but I'd have to find it on the chart. It basically it's in Capricorn anyway. Go and check for yourself. Check the actual sky, not what mainstream astrology is showing you. So all of these new foundations need to be built. So this is what gives me confidence when it comes to it. It's like, okay, you can clearly see we're slowing down. We're becoming more of a sophisticated asset instead of this volatile, crazy type of shite, which is euphoric. We're becoming more sophisticated. Which I feel is just amazing. But the color change is telling me a story, and I've been saying in multiple videos, I think since like way back here, like will we reach like these highs when we're on our bull run or so and so? But we didn't. We've remained quite conservative, to be honest. So I will confidently say we've entered into an accumulation stage. However, and this is important, if we are moving more like a sophisticated asset, these cycles of 4-year bear market, 1-year bull run may be dwindled. It may dwindle, meaning there's more constant upward momentum yearly or bi-yearly, and then natural healthy drawbacks. So what I'm saying is this bear market accumulation phase may not last a whole 4 years as it did in the past cycles. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. We're in extreme fear right now and shit needs to change. But we've seen the market collapse, fall, and we're going to look at why based off of the astrology. If you don't fuck with the astrology, then this is not for you, because this is also important. So where are we now? We're on the 7th, 8th, probably by the time you see this video. Something I want to highlight to you, and this is what I mentioned in my last video, is that I says there's a lot of Pisces water energy, Saturn, Lilith, Chiron, all in Pisces. So I was like, volatility may be there, and that happened. The charts went low. However, I was like, we've got a lot of Capricorn energy coming in, 3, 4, 5 Capricorn energy when it comes to the markets. So I was like, it's either going to be volatile but slow, or this slowless may be a downward momentum in the market, but ultimately because it's Capricorn, it's creating the foundation. So just deep that, okay? Because where we are right now, we're still in these Capricorn energies. It's the 7th of February right now as I'm recording. So we're still heavily in these Capricorn energies of creating the foundation. So I don't want people to be like, oh, it's low, it's not happening. No, stability, structure, foundations are being created for this to continue in our entire reality right now. So it's important. So something I wanted to point out, we were in our full moon phase right now. It's basically finishing now in terms of price wanting to find its support zone. We were in Cancer, another water element. What had happened in the markets, we're literally gonna, I don't want to, we're put on the moons when we're fully in the chart, but water element, you would probably see a full moon is down here somewhere when we put it on. The chart's gonna be messy, so you need to bear with me. Yet we're moving, we will be moving as we go into this cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically from Thursday the 12th, we will enter into our new moon phase. Okay, so this video will cover that, and then we're focused on where its resistance level will be, because the new moon finds its resistance level. And once we're at the end of this, probably like, yeah, Sunday the 22nd, I will be back with another video. We are going to focus on the moon movements when it comes to my videos now, as I was getting a little bit burnt out by doing a video every single Sunday. So I need to listen to myself, and we're going to focus primarily on the moons and the astrological positions in, and we'll observe what happened in the past 2 and a bit cycles, and we'll look at what could potentially happen in the following 2 and a bit cycles. So we're focusing on what could potentially happen here, and we will tap into our new moon phase being in Aquarius. And again, we've got more Aquarian energies coming in: Mercury, Aquarius; Venus, Aquarius; Sun, Aquarius; Moon, Aquarius; Mars, Aquarius. So this Aquarian energy is coming in. What is this telling me? Aquarius is very air. It's an air sign, okay? So it can be very volatile as well when it comes to the markets, especially if fire is involved. If fire and water is involved with air, then volatility is kind of up there, to be honest. Aquarian is very unique, with unique technology, which is highly about crypto. Is highly about crypto. So this is just telling me we may see something in the markets that gives us a clue as to, like, shit, damn, this is basically it, even though it is already it. But we want to see what could potentially be happening. So I am going to unhide my chart. My drawings right now is going to be very messy. Okay, so I'm pre-warning you. But as you can see, we had just a lovely head and shoulder pattern that happened right here. And then we've come back to this support zone. However, we're underneath this support zone. So that's just telling me we could get rejected off this and come lower. So I'm going to unhide my things, because this is something I said in my previous video. This trend line is very important, this blue trend line that you can see here, because we're going to go on the W time frame. As you can see, oh, come on, laptop for me. It's frozen. Okay, there we go. As you can see, I kind of semi keep my shit on there, but let's hide some stuff. We don't need the ghost wick candles. We were trading in this nicely, and it's when we were in this zone, like literally back in 2023, like, you girls not new to this, okay? I drew this trend line and I thought, let me keep it to see how price responds to it. So when we broke out of this trend line, see, I put breakout zone, I've not deleted it. We broke out, and it was like amazing, but we were, struggling a bit here. We came back and tapped the top of the trend line, and then we made our big jump up. We've then done that again. Like, as you can clearly see, we came back into the mid of the trend line, tapping on the W time frame the 200 moving average. We pretty much kind of semi-tapped it and bounced back up. So what I am looking out to see now is price may want to confirm this zone. We do have a Fibonacci pull of potentially like the 1.618 being hit at the bottom of the trend line, and I'm going to make it clear whether we hit the bottom, the middle, or trade at the top, all of those will be healthy. So lowest point being 53k. Now, a lot of people are anticipating a 50k Bitcoin, yet the way the market makers like to behave is they go just shy above it. And just look at this parallel channel is just shy above the 50k region, where they could happily back test that to build up market structure. People are waiting for that extra 3k to tap 50k, and then they bounce back off of it. So that's one option that could play out here in terms of the full bottom. The full bottom could also be 59k. Basically where it wicked to, it could create its support. That's in full alignment here. We're going to put it in the line chart just to see it a bit clearer. But that's in full alignment, whether we double tap here to get to the bottom. Oh, that's 56. 54. It might hit that 54k, but if we want to entertain just the middle of the parallel channel, that's 59, minimum 60k. If we want to entertain only the top of the parallel channel, is 65-ish k. So that's 68k region. And I'm telling you, it was a few videos ago I drew this white line and I kept it there. I was like, we could go up, bounce down to this, and then come up, and then up and out again. So I'm still seeing that as a possibility. The only question is, how far will we go? Will we be content at topping the top of this parallel channel as our support, or will we come into it just like we wicked down into it already? Oftentimes price does like to double check its wick that it's done. So at least going back to the middle of this parallel channel is a high possibility. Yet we could still tap to that 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. So yeah, essentially that's what I'm seeing for the bit of the coin. I am liking the RSI. Why? Because for continuation to the upside, we are now oversold. We're oversold on the RSI. The last time we were oversold was here, which was in 2022. And where was price? Price was here, within this parallel channel. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. Price may drop down into or just above this parallel channel, but I feel it's more likely we'll just entertain the middle of it rather than the bottom. But it's all a waiting game. We're coming back to it is what I'm seeing.